Welcome to Life Your Marriage.
Yay!
Yay.
Welcome to Life Your Marriage. We're glad you're here.
Podcast and YouTube channel.
Nikki?
Wes. And we are here to help you put life into your marriage.
Coffee.
Coffee.
And Jesus.
And Jesus. Let's
and
do
Tenny.
it.
She's here too.
So today we want to talk about you.
We want to talk about you.
Sometimes we talk about our experiences. We talk about things we've gone through, perspectives that we've gained over 17 years of marriage.
Correct.
Over having children with through adoption, through foster care, having trauma ourselves through adultery, through the death of our daughter, through a lot of different things.
We are just going at it from the
start.
start.
Well, a lot of times that's where we're coming from. That's what we're talking about.
It's true.
But today we want to talk about you. And but before we do, let's talk about us. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We're gonna do good thing, like we do every
episode.
So,
Episode.
would you like to start us off with the big obvious one?
Good thing. The big obvious one
Oh my gosh.
is that we got patio furniture.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
That it was Missy's
Oh
birthday.
my gosh. Our son had a birthday.
It's that one.
Turned 6.
That's the big one.
That's the big one I was thinking of there.
Elias David turned 6, and he's just a precious, precious gift from the Lord. And he had his birthday, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh, yes, this is my good thing. Okay, so
I knew it was. See, sometimes
we also got patio furniture, and it is to die for.
it feels like you're an adult when you get some backyard patio.
I mean, like you can like walk outside and like sit down.
Because we were using
instead of
just like
walk outside.
fold-out chairs, that you would take to a campfire or something, which is fine.
We were.
But then we got some furniture, and we were able to, and it's like, man,
It is
I'm like a
so
grown-up
nice.
now.
I mean,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
so nice. Like couch and chair and swing that turns into a bed.
And we didn't even know.
I mean, we have a bed swing. What in the world?
You
It's
know what
amazing.
can happen on that bed swing? A lot of naps.
Only if you're lucky.
A lot of naps.
Anyways, definitely a lot of naps for sure. Anyways, my good thing. So Elias turned 6, and we decided for his birthday to hire. And I always feel very weird when I
I know. How do you describe this?
I know, right?
It's
When
okay.
I say this,
Go ahead.
an exotic animal person who handler. I don't know what to say. Anyways, who does
Has
like a
exotic
show. Yeah.
animals. Yeah.
And she came, and her name is Nora the Explorer. In case you live in Northeast Ohio and would like to hire her, please do,
awesome.
because
She's
she was
awesome.
fantastic. But anyways, and she was not priced anywhere near what she was worth. And I told her she needs to charge astronomically more than she did.
If she charges way
You
more for you.
than she did us. But anyways, she was just incredible and so much fun. She brought turtle. She brought a huge frog. She had snakes. She had a massive python. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Was that the ball python? No, that was a boa. It was a boa constrictor.
She had a ball
She
python.
had a ball python that was super
But
cool.
I thought it was called a bull python.
Yeah, because he's special.
For the record.
But it was like yellow and amazing. And then, anyway, I hate snakes. Like, they're terrifying. Okay. But anyway, she had a boa constrictor that was so long. Like, she had all the kids stand in a big long line, and they all had to hold it up. It was humongous.
Yeah, all together at the same time. It was super cool.
Gecko and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, at the end,
A hedgehog,
a hedgehog.
which Elias loves Sonic.
Yes. Oh, a hissing cockroach that no one would hold until Wes was the brave, strong one.
It was
And,
huge. It was like 3 inches
it was
at
disgusting.
least long.
Like, just utterly disgusting. And Wes held it first, and then like all the kids were like, "I want to hold it.
okay,
I want to hold
and
it."
can I just be honest? This is one of those things that the Holy Spirit is involved in.
Oh, you have.
Okay, I don't know, whatever. This is some of the things that the Holy Spirit's involved in. So I'm just sitting there, and it's like she wanted to know if someone would hold it, and she's asking all the kids, and no one would hold it. No one wants to hold a cockroach. Okay, I get it. But I'm just sitting there, and it's like I just feel the Holy Spirit like do it, and it was almost like he's like peer pressuring me in a funny way. Like, come on, dude, go do it. You can do it. do it. I know you want to do it. You know, like just kind of like, come on, nudging me. And it's just cool because once I did, I don't want to hold a cockroach.
Yeah, gross.
But once I did, and the kids saw that someone was holding it in their hands besides Nora.
And that it wasn't going to bite your hand off.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Almost every single one of them came
even Victoria, who is literally, like, we're talking anxiety, over bugs.
Yeah, it must have been too big of a bug because the flies she can't handle. But the huge hissing cockroach from Australia.
She could hold. No, Madagascar.
Excuse me. They're islands.
Almost poked me in the eyeball. Anyway. So her last animal, however, was a bearded dragon, and it was a bearded dragon that we bought for Elias, and she brought it out and showed
it his present
to him. That was his present, yes, for his birthday. And she acted like she was showing it, and then she told him, "Your mommy and daddy bought this for you for your birthday, and it's your very own dragon." Like when she brought it out, before anybody else said anything or before she really said anything like it was a present for him, he literally out of his mouth, he said, "Oh, you gotta let me have that," he said.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. He was just big and excited. And we were like, praise God.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Jesus. Sometimes you just get a gift and kids hate it. And this time it was not one of those. He
was
just
so
loved
happy.
It before you
It
knew.
was so cute. And he, its name was Zeus when it came to us. It's 3 years old. And his name was Zeus. And we were really hoping that Elias would want to keep that name, but he did not. So his name is Thunder. And he's really cute. And so if you have a bearded dragon, tell me all of your tips and tricks, because it's not like a puppy. Like, you know when your puppy's happy and you know when your cats are happy. But, like, how do you know when your dragon's
Nikki's
happy?
really concerned for the morale
I'm very sad.
of this dragon that sits and does nothing because
I'm
that's what it
sad
does.
for him. I feel like he's sad, and I don't want him to be sad. He's not eating yet, which he's only been here for like 3 days. But people have said that it will take him a while to get accustomed, like a week or so. But we're like trying to feed him with like tongs kind of, and he's not. And I'm just sad for him. I want him to be happy. Thunder.
He'll be fine.
Thunder the dragon.
Thunder.
He's really cute.
Thunder.
He's orange and yellowy.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my good thing. I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I could go with a good thing, but really that was
The
kind of the
best.
build up to
The
that.
best thing.
So sometimes in marriage, your wife has ideas that come into her head.
Sometimes.
And sometimes those ideas never get out of her head to you as a man. And
I don't know what you're referring to.
I know you don't, but you do know. So it was Elias's party was just this past weekend. The weekend prior, or during the week, Nikki and I were out somewhere, and she was like, "We have to get patio furniture." I'm like, "Well, I know you wanted patio furniture, whatever. You know where I'm going with this now." And she's like, "No, we have to have it by the party." I'm like, "What do you mean we have to have it by the party?" "Yeah, of course we have to have it by the party." I'm like, "Did you ever tell me that we had to have it by the party?" "No, well, obviously, you have to have it by the party."
Duh.
Duh. Like, well, how would I know that we had to have it by the party? Because we've had we had people over, and we've never had it. So, like, how am I supposed to know these things? So it was just kind of a
You're just
spring.
supposed to magically know.
So, yeah, we had a lot of things that needed done around here before the magical party.
We always do.
And we got them done,
We did.
which was great. We worked
Hallelujah.
together. We worked hard.
We did.
And you have a goal in mind. You work together. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Absolutely. And it was beautiful.
So,
Also, it's gnat season. Like, who else has gnats? Because there's one right here.
oh,
Dead.
man,
Here we are.
that's gross.
Sorry.
Hashtag farm life or life.
There's one on your computer screen.
It's
It's
okay.
driving me nuts. I can't handle them.
Well, okay.
Gross.
Anyway, so that's good thing. We
Good
have a
thing,
lot
good
of good things going on here.
do.
A lot of hard things, but let's focus on the good things. So
Absolutely.
we want to always encourage you to take a second, go over something good that's happening. It's happened this past week. We always have something that happened that's good.
Absolutely.
There's always enough negativity in life.
Sorry, my phone went off again for the second week in a row. Let me go ahead and
gosh.
turn this off. Chantel has an appointment on Thursday.
Chantel, that's Tenley.
There's a Chantel that lives here.
Yeah, that's Tenley.
Did you know that? Mystery Chantel.
Tenley will be adopted here soon,
And
which is a great thing, and we will change her name from Chantel to Tenley.
Tenley.
So, anyway, good thing. So yeah, just think about some things that's going on. Pause this, take a minute, and just, man, all right, what happened this morning? What happened this day? What happened
There's
this
so
week?
much good. I mean, you can just think like today, like the day was cloudy, like to begin with. It looked like it was going to rain, and it was like yucky. And then it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's just gorgeous. My windows are open. It's 68 in Ohio. Like, what is happening? I'm so happy.
It's nice.
The sky is blue. The sun is shining. The grass is green.
I was supposed to have a medical thing today and
Something
didn't, and I could have gotten upset about it.
Sway.
But
what is it? The orange
and the ivy sway. Yeah. And instead, I already had the day off, so it's like I was able to spend some time with this beautiful lady.
So
Their kids were at school, so it's fun. Anyway, good thing. That was good.
I love you. It was
all right,
good.
Song of the week.
Song of the week.
What you got?
Oh, it is Fill the Room. Oh, that just came out of my shirt.
What?
I don't know what that is.
This is live coming to you.
Like glue.
Unedited. Hashtag no filter.
Deem life. Deem life. I like that hashtag. Deemstead.
Deemstead.
Yeah.
All right, continue with what you were saying.
Sorry. Man, you're good. Just straight grouchy right now.
I'm not grouchy. I'm just focused.
Okay.
Laser tractor beam.
Laser focused. Okay. What did I say? Oh, Fill the Room by Maverick City Music. You must. I mean, you just must. I don't even know what to say. They're so good. I love them. Wes is not like a massive fan, which is literally blasphemous.
It's literally the opposite of blasphemous.
What? That's what it is. What is that?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Anyways.
A little ADHD going on here. Hey, come on.
I feel like I don't know, it's like glue. Anyways, someone. Mav City. They're just so good. Wes is not a huge like gospel fan, which he feels like they kind of are. But anyway,
they're just not my jam all the way. There's some really good songs and really good words and lyrics and things.
Fill the Room. I just turned it on. Like, I've been turning it on my way back from school after I take the kids in the morning, and when I don't have Elias, because of course then it's, I must listen to what he wants. The Greatest Showman soundtrack, of course, which is naturally the usual choice. But anyway,
from now on. It's a song right there.
Fill the Room. It starts with just like prayer, like they're praying and out loud, and it's just really good. And then about 4 or 5 minutes in, he just starts going off, and it's just so good. And I love it. And the piano and just all the things. And Jesus. Fill the Room.
Fill the Room. It's good. The song, my song of the week, man, it's probably... Gosh, you ever have a favorite song? Someone asks you that, and you're like, I don't know. I'm supposed to have a favorite song.
Well, yeah, having a favorite song is impossible. I have a favorite song for this. I have a favorite song for that. Exactly. But you can't have a favorite
But I
song.
think I may have a favorite song, and it's a song that you probably have never heard of before. Nikki has. It is an instrumental song.
Yes, I know.
And it's called The March.
I knew you were... Oh, no, I didn't know it was that one.
No, you didn't. The March by Lights and Motion.
I knew it was going to be them.
Yeah. They're good, man. He's good. It's actually one guy, and he does all the instruments, or at least he did in the beginning. I'm not sure if he still does, but he does it all himself. Anyway, there's actually a pretty cool YouTube video for that, but it's just an awesome song when if you need to think, if you're doing something and you have noise in the background. I've been going to the gym, just started, which is cool. Working out my leg that has been having issues, but just having some music, something. But The March by Lights in Motion, Lion by Lights in Motion.
I was going to say, I thought there was one called Lion. I was going to say Lion by Elevation.
Lion by Lights in Motion. That is a nap song right there.
Yes.
Man, I put that on and I am gone. It is wonderful. And just enough noise to block out everything. So anyway, that's Song of the Week. So check those out if you want. Give us some suggestions, things that we haven't mentioned that are good ones to listen to. We'd love. We love new songs.
Absolutely.
We love music in this house.
We do. It's a jam.
So
it's a bop.
It's a bop. It's a banger.
Bop, bop,
so today we are talking. Welcome in again to Life Your Marriage.
Sorry.
And feel free to subscribe. We'd appreciate it.
Down below.
Hit that notification bell down below as Nikki does her down below.
Oh, you did
jam.
it this week. See, I'm not doing it because you did it.
It wasn't quite as good as you. Yeah, exactly. And follow us on podcasts, whatever medium you're using. We'd really appreciate it. So, keep you up to date on everything coming out. And all right, so right into it. Your story matters. We have these shirts.
We do.
And
if we were good at laundry, we would have them on. but we're not.
Yeah.
So here we are.
If you're good at laundry as an adult with children,
We'll pay you to come to our
kudos. Kudos. But yeah, all they say is your story matters. And I remember we have a picture, one of my favorite pictures.
Actually, I'm sorry. I have to.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
What do I want to say?
It's your world. I'm just living in it.
No, I wanted to say I have to cut in with a
Segue.
No. They came from Goods and Better Store. So promo, yes. Goods and Better Store is a awesome company. And they sell all kinds of things, foster and adoption related.
Yeah.
And the money that when you purchase things from them, very large amount of the purchase amount goes to, they make bags for like newborn placements, for toddler placement, for a teenage placement, and then you decide what you want your money to go to. So it's a book bag that's full of things so that when a child comes into foster care, they will send a family this book bag or whatever, and have something for the child that night, like right when they come. It's just really, 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 really cool company. Yeah. And their shirts are all about, foster related and adoption related and Jesus related and just really, really awesome. So anyway, look them up. Goods and Better.
Yeah. So one of the shirts that they sell is Your Story Matters. And we got that for our whole family. And we have a picture outside of our church with all of us, all 6 of us there.
Super cute.
With those shirts on. And
it's one of my favorite pictures.
Yeah, it's an awesome picture.
My hair was done and it doesn't look like this. So
it looks very pretty right now. I like it.
Oh. It's so grown out. It looks like it's two-toned. Okay.
All right.
That's all.
Her story matters too.
I need my hair done. Mm-hmm. That story totally matters.
So, yeah, we want to talk. We've talked a lot about us and our story. But I want you to think, we want you guys to think about what your story is. Everyone's got a story. Mm-hmm. And our story comes from
a good one.
A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of pain, a lot of awesome times, a lot of mountains, as my grandpa would say, hills and valleys.
Hills and valleys.
He's an old Assemblies of God minister. Hills and valleys. Amen.
He totally sounded like that back in his day.
But so our story, one of the reasons that we started Life Your Marriage is we felt like something that's always been important to me is that when God walks you through something, it's never just for your benefit.
Oh man, that's so
weird. He will allow you to go through something.
Preacher.
That is hard and difficult, right? He doesn't take you around the storms; he takes you through them. Mm-hmm. But he brings you out the other side, and it's never just about you. Yeah, it just isn't. That's a very shallow way of viewing our God. Mm-hmm. Very small. That he would do something just for you. He does it for you, absolutely, because he cares and loves you, but he multiplies these things and takes these events and allows them to help and influence and service others around the world, around wherever your area of sphere of influence is.
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
And so that's kind of where we've always come from, is that, okay, well, he's brought us through something and we have the option of being quiet about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, and we've gone through some difficult things. Adultery. Mm-hmm. No, it's not a fun topic to talk about.
Things
it's not,
that one would not want to share.
Like you're not going to stand on the mountaintop and shout it.
Right. Absolutely.
But we don't live in that place anymore. We don't live in that place at all. There's been healing. There's been redemption. There's been change and newness and oneness and all this stuff. And so if we were not to say anything, if we didn't say anything to anyone about it, I feel for us that it would really kind of limit what God, the full redeeming power of what God has.
So good.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I've been thinking about this a lot. Right. It's been on my heart a lot. We didn't have an episode last week, and I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks now. Yeah. And just praying about it. And so that's like, so adultery, I'm coming through. I know what it's like to be ensnared in sexual sin. I know what it's like to literally feel like you have like the enemy's got a fish hook in you and you walk along fine. And then all of a sudden he tugs and there you go. Yeah. And you don't have a choice. You don't have a say. You don't have nothing. I mean, that's addiction. Now, I don't have a story of of chemical addiction, drugs, alcohol. I don't have a story like that. So that's not part of my story. But my story matters to wherever God puts me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the same thing applies for we have our daughter passed away at birth.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about plenty of times. That was just devastating, to use one of your words.
Yes, devastating.
Just devastating. And how do you get through that, and the pain and the emotion, and we've always, it's like in the moment you don't feel like you have anything to bring.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because you are at the bottom.
Yeah. Right.
And you probably don't.
Right.
But then he brings you through.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked about that pretty quickly. Just to other people.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, is that someone poured into us. I'll never forget Zach and Kelly.
Yeah.
Our friends, and we don't really see them very much.
Yeah.
Or talk to them very much anymore, just because our lives have kind of separated, but I will always consider them friends for what they did for us. They shared, and they, I would say, are more private people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that's awesome. But they came over to our house and talked to us about their daughter who had passed away before ours. And they're sitting there sharing. They had a box of pictures and just things that they had saved. And did they have just 2 other kids at that point?
I think so. Maybe just one.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
But they had,
I don't remember. Yes, you're right.
a child
After,
that was there who was after
she was their
the one.
daughter that passed away. It was their first, just like ours, and it was their little girl. And I mean, it was very, just the similarities were, it's just wild how Jesus brings people together, that you didn't even realize, like these were friends that we had known while we were pregnant. Not really close, super close, but
I'll be honest with you, I had no idea that this had even happened.
no, but we had absolutely no idea.
And we had a funeral, obviously,
Yes.
for our daughter, and I
Right.
remember Zach, I didn't really know him that well, but he got my attention because he was a mess.
Yes, right.
And it seemed like he was taking it really hard, especially for someone, I mean, you understand, like, close family could be really, really upset.
Right.
And he wasn't that, he was taking it really hard, and then you find out later, wow, this is exactly what he had
We
gone
were
through
at
almost,
her burial, at Elle's burial at the cemetery, and someone was like, our little girl was buried like right behind their little girl. And someone was like, this is Zach and Kelly's daughter. And I was
Her
like,
stone, yeah.
what? And that's how, I mean, Jesus just made that whole thing.
And then if you think
you know,
about in
it's
that
just
little
crazy.
plot,
It's wild.
in that little plot, she's there, Elle's there,
Yeah.
and then Catherine,
Yeah.
friend
And
has,
Catherine, we met because her son passed away a couple weeks after our daughter, and they were buried right beside each other. And she contacted me through the blog. That's how we became friends, because she looked up Ellersly's name, and then she found the blog, and then we became friends. Yeah.
Yep. And I mean,
crazy.
what we
Jesus.
saw from Zach and Kelly was someone who had just gone through this a few years ago, and they had a child there with them after that.
Yes.
And so it's like, it was just a small glimpse. We were in the middle of sludging
Yes.
and trudging.
Trudging.
And we
trudge.
saw someone who was on the other side, and it gave us so much hope that, like, this isn't going to be how it ends for us.
Yeah. The tunnel is not forever black. That's what it was.
There is a light.
There was, it feels like in those moments that there's just perpetual darkness and it will never be light again. But to see someone who walked through the darkness and that there was eventually light was huge, just absolutely huge.
And so that's the thing. I mean, when we talk about your story matters, Zach and Kelly's story mattered so much to us. And it's not, and I'm not speaking for them, but just kind of knowing them, being more on the reserved or private, I don't know that they would start a blog or a podcast about it and, like, share it with everyone. And that's fine. They don't have to. But they shared it with their sphere of influence, which was us when we needed it.
Yep. That's good.
And so we've been able to share with others.
Yeah.
And then others have been able to share with others. And it just goes on and on and on. And hope is being just pushed out,
definitely.
from the Father.
Absolutely.
Over and over again. And so that's just one example. And so, when we say your story matters, like, that's why. And if you're going through something right now, I mean, pray about it. God will send someone to you. I really believe that there are other people who are willing to talk. If you're open, willing, and you're willing to listen, there are other people who God has done this, who have walked the same road that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. People that you can offer hope to, people that can offer hope to you. And that's the thing, like in our situation, you know, whatever, I mean, there's been so many situations, but just going back to Elle, it was like the more that we were able to share her and to share the hope that we had, it just encouraged us more. You know, you meet people that then do the same thing for you. It's not like you're continually pouring and you feel that way, you know, like you're pouring out and nothing's coming back to you, you know?
Well, I mean,
Jesus is so good that way. Like those things just really fill you up.
that's one of the, I mean, when he says it, excuse me, it's more blessed to give than receive.
Yeah,
That's what he's talking
absolutely.
about. I mean, you're giving
Right.
to someone and they need it in that moment, but you are also being filled because
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit is speaking through you, and
Yeah.
it is like, it's how it was made to be.
Made to be. Absolutely.
He did it that way on purpose.
Yeah, definitely. I just think it's just hope, you know, your story matters because it's hopeful. And, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. You know, when it comes to adultery, Nikki has been able to speak to a lot of women on and just help through certain things and feelings that they have, and understanding, having someone who understands, has a perspective of, yeah, I totally 100% get what you're going through. Sexual sin with men in the church, out of the church, marriages, it's everywhere, unfortunately. And I know what that's like.
Yeah.
I know how bad it sucks.
Yeah.
And
Even joining a group, you know, like we did, a recovery group like CR, or even Pure Life, you know, Pure Life Ministries, like just as organizations that bring these people all together so that I'm offering hope, but when you're hurting it, but you're offering hope to me when I'm hurting. And in our trauma, we can come together and understand each other so much better than someone who doesn't know, you know, someone who's never gone through something like that. I don't know. I just think it's awesome, and it's really encouraging, and it's really uplifting, and it's speaking life, and it's, your story matters because it's impactful, you know, it's powerful,
It's real.
and it's real,
It's real.
and it's genuine,
It's not-
and it's Jesus.
there's so many cliches out there
Yeah.
in life, and your actual, I mean, the Christianese word, I guess, would be testimony.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's what it would be. But your story, it's real, and it's real experiences, and it's real emotions, and it's real feelings. So it takes the cliche out of it. And so that's one of the awesome things about going to a group or finding other people, is that you can encourage others along the way.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think about, you know, our kids are going to have, well, one of the reasons that, you know, there's always kind of been a debate if you have kids that have been adopted. You know, did you tell them? Did you tell them they're adopted?
That's not a thing anymore.
I'm just saying, it always had been. Yeah, and I still get questions about that if I talk to people
that's
about it.
Crazy.
And I did this week.
If your children are adopted, tell them.
They need to know. Well, and one of the
From the
reasons that we did is because
From newborn.
what have we always said? It's part of their story.
Part of their
It's just part of their story.
Absolutely, 100%. Jesus uses, I mean, the traumatic parts and the sad parts and the bad parts. I mean, that's something that we have talked to Isaiah from the beginning, and he just said the other day, it's just like you always say, Mom, that God takes the bad things and makes them good things. Absolutely. There are going to be things, and he doesn't cause the bad things, and he doesn't cause the trauma, and he didn't make it all happen. And you know, that disconnect or that loss of your biological parent or whatever happened, is devastating, and it's nothing to, demean or lower in any way, shape, or form, but it is something to embrace and work through whatever the emotions and the feelings are surrounding that, and to understand. Absolutely. And I mean, it could take, I'm sure it will take a lifetime. Absolutely. But to know the good things that can come because of your story, because of who you are, because of who he made you to be. I mean, it's just huge. It's huge.
We had a woman come to our church this past Sunday, and she talked about she grew up in a real bad area of Baltimore and Maryland, and so she, like, her mother had passed away, I think, when she was super young, and her dad was an alcoholic, and she was raised by her grandma. Then her grandma died, and she was raised by her aunt, and all this kind of stuff. And part of us, I think, as human beings, is like, God, why?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
why can't you just pull them out of that? Like,
Oh,
they're just
absolutely.
kids, you know?
Yeah.
And we think sometimes we see in foster care and communities, like, those kids don't have a chance. Like, that's your natural inclination, is to say something like that. Yeah. But like, she talked about how what God did and built in her through all of that, and gave her an understanding, and still being able to influence her biological family because she wasn't removed. And that's her story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it, it's just her story. And God is working and weaving a story, a beautiful story for all of us.
Yes.
And man, I think sometimes God doesn't get a credit for the storyteller that he is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The Bible starts with in the beginning, which if you think about every Disney movie, once upon a time, and then Star Wars, what is it?
In a galaxy
Far,
far,
far
away.
away. Exactly. Like that's what God does. The whole Bible is a story. Filled with stories and subplots and characters and highlights and lowlights, and every story you're going to come across, with every movie you're going to see, if it was all good, it would suck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What's the church sign on our way to church? Some churches don't even really have signs really anymore, but like it's
it can't be a testimony
be a testimony without a test.
Without a test. So cliche, but it is.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
If you've never gone through anything, everyone goes through something. That's
everyone
the thing.
has.
Everyone
Absolutely.
goes through something.
Yeah.
There's not a person who's skated through life and been
Right.
like, everything's been perfect every day of my life.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
What would that even look like?
I don't
What
know.
would be a perfect day?
It would be boring.
Exactly. That's
would be
the thing.
boring.
It's like, right.
We have been made in the image of God, who sets up these stories this way. So we love it. That's why we love drama. That's why we love, Rocky getting knocked out and then coming back. Or we love superhero movies because they're.
I don't.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew the second. I was like, oh well, here we go. What would you say? Where would you go? The Nicholas Sparks books and movies.
Rude. I don't know what I would
Come
say.
on. No, you got to give us something.
That's why we love. I don't know.
I'm throwing out sporting stuff, Marvel movies. I mean,
This Is Us and Parenthood.
yeah, absolutely. That Parenthood's her show.
Absolutely.
And it's real life
because
stuff.
people endure real life stuff that's tragic and terrible, but they come out the other side, and it's okay, and it's hopeful, and there's light, and there's joy still to be had.
Well,
and
there are a lot of
it's just
cliches
good.
like "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger," but that cliche comes from the truth.
What doesn't kill me makes me strong.
That's
Kelly
not,
Clarkson?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's Kelly Clarkson.
It is. That's the worst song ever.
Yeah.
Kelly
yeah,
Clarkson, not a fan. It's okay.
Anyway,
if you are.
you just killed that one. But that's why your story matters, because you have been made and formed and fashioned to be stronger on the other side, to then share your testimony. Gosh, I wish it's like sometimes we have verses and sometimes you just think of something. And I know there is a verse, I think it's in Revelation or something, talking about the end times, and basically that at the end we will get to stand and proclaim the goodness of God that happened in our lives, and also we will be rewarded for coming through, for standing to the end. We will get a reward for making it to the end.
That's right.
And it's, there's so much hope for us to just look for and look forward to, but not just for the end, for now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It does your heart good to share your story.
It's cool
with
to hear
someone.
that there will be a reward at the end, because let's be honest, like, days are hard, right? But like the reward here, just to be able to see them and to see them here is awesome. Like we can talk about this weekend. So we had Kanu, who I think we've talked about on here before. And he's a little boy that we fostered for a year. We fostered him for the year from he turned 1 here, and then left before he turned 2. And so we always get him. He comes to visit us. We have a good relationship with his biological mom, and he's obviously back with her, and things are going really well.
Yeah.
And he comes every couple months. And Elias and he are literally like the best of little friends. It's like the most perfect. They're brothers.
Two peas,
basically.
man. Two
I mean,
peas
it's
in a
just
pod.
the greatest. And Elias always wants him to come for his birthday. So he came this weekend, and Elias, he was at the party, and Elias looked at Leslie, our friend, and he said, "This is Kanu. He's my brother, but he doesn't live here." Which is literally
I would have never thought of. You can never think of a better description.
The absolute best. And so, for us, I mean, that right there.
Elias was only 2 when he came.
I mean, Elias was 2.
2 to
He
3.
turned 3. Yeah, right, when he left. And I mean, that moment, but then even like one night at bedtime, I heard Victoria talking to Kanu, and she was like, "Kanu, do you know Jesus?" I mean, like these little tiny glimpses through all of the hard things that we deal with on a daily basis, raising kids and being parents and trying to stay married and do all the things right. When those things happen, you know, it's just like, oh, Jesus, thank you.
It's getting through.
I mean, that's a reward here, you know, for a parent, I think. And even, I took a video, I think it was last night, of Victoria singing in her room, and it is hysterical. And I would never post it online because she would kill me when she was like 15 if she ever saw it.
Let's do it.
But
I'm all for it.
I mean, it is so precious. And I mean, she's singing this song about Jesus, and
that she's making up as she goes.
yeah,
it's
like
not
it's
a
just
song.
all her
It's
making
song,
it up.
man.
And she's like, I love
Sing a
writing.
new song into the Lord.
I love writing songs. They started going to this Christian school, right? Okay. And it is amazing. And their teacher, before she got this job, she was a music teacher and she was a songwriter, and has written all kinds of songs. She wrote them she writes them songs for different things that they're doing,
Activities,
you know, like
or
grammar, like they have a song about adverbs and like just all this stuff that she's done. She's played them some of the songs. Isaiah said that some of her songs have been on the radio, like that she has written. I know, crazy, right? Anyway,
that's cool.
But Victoria was like, I like songwriting. Like, that's what she was telling me after she sang that. And I thought that was so cute because that's
awesome.
probably because of her teacher, right?
Probably, yep.
Oh, man. But anyways, those are the rewards that he gives here is just watching them learn and grow and understand. And even though sin sometimes abounds,
but
his grace is more, friends.
I heard a pastor talking, and I can't remember who it was, but he was just saying, I think it was Bill Johnson, actually. His wife just passed away.
I don't have any more coffee. Yeah, I'm sad about that.
His wife just passed away a few weeks ago or a month ago, whatever, and he said, when you're walking through a valley or a test of any kind, he said, it is down on earth is the only time you have to glorify God through this.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the only chance we have.
So true. We
will not face any adversity.
Yeah.
When we are gone from here in heaven, new earth, new heaven, all the things. So this is our only chance. So it's Andy at church, the guy we went to church with. He says what, they're an opportunity. It's not a test or a trial. It's an opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's an opportunity.
So good.
It is.
Yep.
And when God works and brings you out, testify to it.
Yeah.
Man, speak.
Yeah.
What does Bradley always say? A guy we go to church with. We love Pastor Bradley.
Preacher.
He says something like, the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
Yeah. That's
the statement,
scripture.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what that means is that you
testimony.
testify about Jesus and you are prophesying that to someone else.
Yeah.
You are saying, listen, this can happen in your life.
Yep.
This can happen for you because this is who Jesus is. Absolutely. And this is who you are.
The word testimony, Travis talks about this all the time. The word testimony means do it again in like the Greek or I don't know, whatever. Yeah. Do it again. Ah, that is so amazing. I mean, do it again. Do what you have done in me, do in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it.
And so that's why we have to speak.
Jesus.
And if we don't praise,
you better be listening to this fire.
if we don't pray, the rocks will cry out. I mean, if we don't praise, like Jesus is just, the Bible is full.
We got lots of rocks around
It'd
here.
be awesome.
I'm about to tell our kids
And
that.
super creepy.
I don't think I've ever,
let's be honest.
I don't think I've ever said that
It'd
to
be
her.
terrifying.
I know Victoria would be horrified.
Hopefully it wouldn't happen at night.
That
So what we want to do is just try to embolden you.
Embolden.
I mean, we sometimes we're doing a podcast and a YouTube, and we're starting this whole like ministry, and we're not that far removed from me having emotional affairs.
Yeah.
And
2 years, almost.
2 years.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I'm just saying that
I just want people to know it's not like yesterday or like.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, there are times when we're like, oh, man, like if certain people who know all that see, like, what will they think, and what would happen, and they wouldn't judge.
Yeah.
They are very gracious and very kind, but God, when He changes and redeems, you might feel that way. You might feel inadequate, or I'm just a new Christian, or whatever. Don't think so big about it. You just speak what He's given you to speak, your story. Yeah. That's the easiest way, I think, to, go into all the world and preach the gospel to all nations, baptizing them. It's like all these things. Oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? I got, I think it's just speaking. That's where you start. You just tell your story.
Absolutely.
There's going to be someone you come in contact with who has something similar that you can relate to, and you can say, yeah, listen, it might not be the same, but this is kind of what happened to me, and look what happened, and it can be addictions, it can be mental health, it can be physical health, children, our kids are going to have a crazy story. I mean, they do not have a straightforward story. Yeah. It is not, mom and dad gave birth to me, and then I was raised in a Christian home and whatever. Not like mine.
Right.
But my story's crazy.
Right.
But they are going to be able to reach and impact so many people who have grown up feeling the same way or going through the same emotions.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It is about sharing for the life and benefit and value of others.
Yep. And glorifying Jesus.
And that's why your story matters. Don't minimize yourself. I love, again, a kind of a Christian cliche, but God does not call the equipped. He equips the called.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's what He's done with us. And that's what He does with every single person that we know. I love our church because it is full of people who are ex-addicts.
Yep. It's awesome.
And I want to be clear about that. It's not, I'm a drug addict.
Yeah.
And I've been, saved. No, I'm no longer a drug addict. I am a child of God. I have moved out of that, and my identity no longer is wrapped around my addiction. Anyway, tangent.
It's a podcast for another day, friends.
Another day. But we have so many people. We got tattoos everywhere. We got all the, all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't think would be typical pastors.
Yeah.
But we have people who are pastors, people going to be starting ministries, homeless shelters, and all this kind of stuff, because that's all they're doing. This is their experience. This is the world they grew up in. This is where they can influence people. Yep. This is what they know.
Yep.
And so that's what they're doing.
Be in Jesus.
To who you can.
Absolutely.
That's it. You're going to be able to reach who I can't, and I'm going to be able to reach who you can't, and that's how we reach them all.
Absolutely.
With the love and the hope that Jesus gives us. Mm-hmm. So.
I love you, Mr. Deem.
I love you, baby. So thanks for checking in Life Your Marriage. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you got something today. If you have any comments, any stories that you'd like to share, we would love to hear them.
Absolutely.
Just about what's going on in your life. It's not just about us. That this whole episode is about getting the word out and sharing your stories. So we would love someone to send us a story.
Yeah.
Anyone, and
encourage us
and practice with us.
Absolutely.
Right. Get your story down. Write it down.
We would love it.
So that you have it. So anyway, thanks guys for checking out.
Life.
Your
Marriage.
See ya.